Guys, it's the Bad Wolf. Thanks for checking in. I definitely appreciate it. As you can see behind me, the views are coming in. We had something like 57,000 new or 5,700 views come in. That's awesome. I definitely appreciate you guys, but let's get down to business. So you're inquiring about the renunciation of your U.S. citizenship. Okay, now here's the thing. If you've already researched this, then you're good to go. This video is specifically for those people who have not done it or are thinking about it or hear us always talking about, national, non-US national, citizen, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Renouncing your citizenship in general is very, very bad. Okay. And I'll tell you why. Okay. So if you already know what it is and you've made the determination that this is what you want to do, it's all to the good. But here are some considerations you have to take into mind before doing this, because a lot of people think just because you're suddenly going, oh, I'm going to be a national, I'm just going to renounce my citizenship. Whether you renounce it in front of a judge or via an affidavit, you get it notarized at a notary. You send it in to the States, or you go down and you pay the renunciation fee, which I think is like $1,500 or something. Those are some of the ways you can do it. You can also just abandon it and get other citizenships, and or leave the country for X amount of time. But I'm telling you right now, guys, this is probably going to be the better way to do that. So when you renounce your citizenship, you have to be careful. Okay, because you are going to be basically stateless. Okay, now what stateless means is that you don't belong to a state of any sort, meaning you're no longer a citizen of the state you live in or you were born in, which is where your state citizenship usually comes from, or where you're currently living. And you're not a U.S. Citizen, 14th Amendment citizen, okay? Because what a lot of people are doing is they are submitting their paperwork, or they're getting their affidavits, whatever else, and they're just saying, I renounce it. Well, what they're going to do is renounce all of it, okay? It's just all of it. So you'll be stateless. You won't have any, you're basically going to be here as a foreigner, okay, who just somehow happened to get on American soil. And you will be and could be treated as such. Jailed, held, no rights. You're basically found property. Okay, so if you're going to renounce your citizenship, which I do not agree with necessarily you doing, make sure that you specify which citizenship you're going to renounce, whether it's your state citizenship or your 14th Amendment citizenship. And remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. But even in that, ideally what you should do is what many of us have done, okay? And I'll give you an example. A guy came to me and he was telling me how his friend renounced his citizenship. And when he did that, he was like, yeah, I renounced my citizenship. I don't have to worry about the cops and this and that and whatever else. Well, the problem is, yes, you do, because you don't belong to anybody. So anybody can try to lay claim to you, or basically just, what are you doing here? Oh, let me see your information. Oh, you don't belong anywhere? Well, then you're, a foreigner on our soil, okay? So what ended up happening is he then had to try to reapply for his, citizenship and his Social Security, and all of this stuff was no longer valid. His birth certificate, all that stuff, because he renounced it all. So don't renounce it, but instead, this is what you do, okay? So now some of you are both. Some of you guys are just, national, U.S. nationals, whatever. But ideally, you want to become a national, okay? And when you become a national, you fill out your paperwork, and you're going to want to put on any of your paperwork, whether you go take an affidavit to the Department of Travel, where you get your passports, or you write up your own paperwork declaring your nationality, however you guys want to do it. No matter what you do, is you want to put claim that you are an authorized agent of the straw man, or your all caps name, which is your 14th Amendment citizenship, or your slave name, if you will, or your corporation name, however you want to look at it. So you want to put that you are the authorized agent of this name and all variations of that name, but you assume no responsibility. Okay, so kind of like a agent working for Nike who's able to sell the shoes and whatever else, but they don't have to deal with all of the legalities of working for Nike. Like they can't be penalized just because they're using the Nike name. They can get in trouble using the Nike name, and Nike can fire them, but they personally aren't going to be held responsible for the whole company. Okay, so and in doing that, what you probably want to do is a UCC 1, which I have another video for that. So if you haven't seen that, I would definitely check that out. For those of you who know what it is and you know exactly what I'm talking about and why. Okay, so you're going to basically lay claim to your straw man, but say that you are the authorized agent of such, and you assume no responsibility. That way, okay, as you become a national, you are still the authorized agent of it, and that allows you to utilize that social and for identification purposes. If you're going to get a credit card or whatever else, open a bank account, you can still have access to it, but you've declared that you're not responsible for it, but not directly. So you're just saying that, yes, I'm the representative of it, and really they already know that. They're just hoping you don't know that. But by declaring it, you're allowing yourself to have a buffer, okay, which you can prove because you've got it in writing, you've got it with your passport, which is one of the reasons why when you do your passport, make copies of it before you send it out to them. You can also get, I believe, what's called a passport receipt. It should be all the information contained about your passport, and so that's another way to have that kind of proof. I would also suggest drawing up your own paperwork with that information, getting it notarized, and possibly sending it to either Department of State, the head of your state, your state secretary for your state, and any other place you feel that you want to register it down at the city hall. Those are all good places to put that information and get out there as much as possible. So that's about it, guys. I definitely appreciate you for checking in. Thank you for all the donations. Thank you for the calls. Thank you for the emails. Thank you for the subscriptions. Thank you for the views. I'm gonna have some more videos coming up on a lot of different topics. A good chunk of it is still gonna be around this kind of stuff because this is what I'm really good at. And to my guys out there in California, thank you guys. Appreciate you guys for working with me. All the other guys who are sending me information. Definitely good. Depending on when anybody's seeing this, I've already sent in my last version of my passport. Working on trying to crack the code for that 4th or 5th asterisk or star. Even though we don't officially know what all of them really mean, we do know that as we've improved our paperwork process in our attempting to become a national standing, that we've seen people go from 3 to 4, and so now we're trying to go from 4 to 5. If you believe in that, cool. If you don't, that's fine too. This is just for us. However you do is what you do. And as I was telling other people, because they were asking me, actually I trained some people when I had a phone call, and I do consultations for about $50 an hour, to kind of help you guys out. I'm not the all-knowing Oz or anything like that, but people who've talked have definitely gotten their money's worth out of it. And so anyway, I was just telling them, or actually they were telling me how one of their friends basically got into a situation, and the passport was able to help them out, or other people were like, they didn't believe in it, and then they filed the same paperwork and got a new asterisk or star on it. But at the end of the day, it's basically about the fact that if you already have 3, you should be good. okay? Because people we know who've went out there with 3 and have gotten pulled over and let go right away, you know, traveling with their passport as identification and privately, okay? So it's not really a big deal how many there really are on there, especially if you already have 3. If you have 1 or 2, you're probably from another foreign country. 3 typically means you're a non-U.S. national or you know, a citizen, because it's all in their in-house. Okay, like I said, the lady told me that these are internal security features issued by the issuing company, because she didn't know. Now, whether was that a lie or not, don't really know, don't really care. So this is just us trying to, I guess, if you will, crack the code. And as we found out, people, it's really, at the end of the day, all about your explanatory statement or looking at the act's conditions. But in reality, it even more so, like the explanatory statement is, to me, 95% of, you know, you trying to become a national and recognized, because everything, if you read it correctly at the bottom, it does say that, you know, no matter how you really fill out the file, you are either claiming that you are, by, you know, penalty of perjury, that all this information is true. So you're saying that I'm either a U.S. citizen, which is a 14th Amendment citizen, or a non-U.S. national, meaning you come from one of the outside territories actually owned by the U.S. corporation land-wise, which is like Guam, Puerto Rico, and wherever else, okay? So that only leaves the explanatory statement for you to correctly inform them of your true status by declaration in that explanatory statement that you can write yourself. And they have a little bit of information on that on their website, but they really don't want a whole lot of people to figure this out. And then they also issue national certificates, but that's at their leisure. They're not making it a thing. They've declared on there that, you know, they don't see that it's a necessary thing, and they're technically right, because you're a national just having been born in any of the 50 states, period. So what you're doing with any of these processes are declaring that you're just that, you know, because let's say Microsoft had their own nation, okay, and I joined their nation. So now I'm subject to the laws of state and Microsoft, or in this case, state and federal. All right. So that's about it, guys. I appreciate you checking out the video. Don't forget to hit that bell, like, subscribe, and share these videos. I see those numbers are starting to increase up there. That's pretty much about it. More videos are coming. Bad Wolf is over and out. Enjoy the rest of your day and have a great weekend, guys.